Good evening, everybody, considering it's almost evening time, and welcome to Wrestling Rundown, episode number 7. Thank you for watching with us, watching our show for the past 7 episodes, and we're going to continue this.
Fluffy honestly didn't expect we'd last this long.
Yes, Fluffy thought it would be a major flop, but we're getting better as the times go on. But like I said, welcome to Wrestling Rundown, the show where we discuss everything wrestling and everything WWE. And guys, let's take it from here.
Okay. Monday Night Raw, episode 1006, opens up with
Michael Cole.
Michael Cole saying that I'm here commentating alone because Jerry the King Lawler is currently undergoing medical attention because of what had happened just before. Usually when we start the shows, I get on and my music is interrupted by Jerry's. But Jerry did not come out, and this is why. It then shows a clip of what had happened before Raw went on the air, where Punk was attacking Jerry in a savage beatdown. Jerry managed to fight him off slightly, but Punk just once again got the upper hand, and pretty much it was a one-sided fight.
While we're still on this subject of that fight, I have 2 things on this one. There are some people who are saying it was the other way around, where Lawler attacked Punk. But why would Lawler attack Punk? Yeah, obviously he wants a little revenge, but...
Yeah, he doesn't resort to underhanded tactics. That, and if he lost fair and square, he will fully admit it, and he won't act on it anymore. That, and, what he was going to say is that Michael Cole confirms that it was Punk who attacked Jerry. So that's to clear up any major confusion on that topic.
Now, along with that, during this fight, this cheap fight, whatever you want to call it, but what really threw me off was at the end of the fight was Jerry Lawler manages to get himself back up. And the refs are holding him back.
No, Punk back. They're holding Punk back.
Well, they're holding Punk back, and a few are holding Lawler back. But Lawler manages to frickin' escape their clutches, I guess if you want to call it that. And he goes straight after Punk. But Punk, being Punk, lifts his boot up, and here's Jerry. Boom! It looked like he just ran into it on purpose, just for the hell of it. So, I don't honestly...
Poorly staged.
Poorly staged is what I'm trying to get at. Thank you for giving me. But, confirmed by Cole, Lawler is receiving medical attention. If you have been staying up to date on our Facebook page, I posted a couple links around 6 o'clock this morning on Wrestling Rundown's Facebook page, and there's a WWE exclusive where why do I keep saying Jerry?
I don't know.
Jerry Lawler is talks, because he's kind of course, from the attack, about the attack. So, if you want to go check that out, go to either the Facebook page or WWE.com. But I'm going to hand this one over to Gary.
Alright. Now, show officially opens.
On air.
And Sheamus starts up the show. He starts by saying, pretty much he's out there saying...
Every time I come here, the party never stops.
Yeah.
Something like that.
More or less along the lines of, I come out here every night, I try my hardest, I don't try to pull anything. When Punk interrupts Sheamus, and of course the crowd's going wild because it's Punk's hometown.
And Punk is the second city saint, as he's referred to.
And he more or less talks Jerry a little bit, and apparently Cena's disrespecting Punk and all this other stuff. And Sheamus,
because apparently by Cena trying to help Jerry Lawler last week, he apparently agrees with Lawler that Punk turned his back on the WWE universe, and now he's being disrespected. But.
Yeah. Anyway, so what happens is Sheamus starts throwing in insults right back, saying, and you keep on talking about respect, yet you don't show any of us any respect by interrupting us and all this other stuff. And then Punk pretty much goes, yeah, you're the world heavyweight champion. That's all great and all, but I'm the WWE champion, and that makes me so much better. It's more or less something along those lines.
Yes.
And Sheamus then goes, well, why don't you face me in this ring right now? And so that I can prove to you that, hey, your opinions aren't exactly correct, or something like that. I was kind of a bit distracted during Raw last night, so I wasn't able to...
Why would it happen?
Just stuff. Anyway,
okay.
I wasn't able to focus on specifics. Anyway.
That's why I'm here, folks.
Yeah, so AJ then comes out, and she announces...
two big blockbuster matches for the night.
Yeah.
The two main events, specifically one in the 10 o'clock hour and one...
in
the 9 o'clock.
For the last one.
Yeah.
Anyway, AJ declares that Cena will be facing Alberto Del Rio, and that Sheamus will be facing Punk later that night.
More on that later.
Mm-hmm. Next up, I'll have you cover.
Okay, this is one of an exciting match. I'm going to give credit where credit is due to Dolph Ziggler. I'm taking nothing away from him. He is a great competitor, but the way he conducts...
one of the more obnoxious ones.
Yeah, the way he conducts himself, it's kind of... How do I say...
He rubs people the wrong way.
Yes. Thank you for filling in my mouth, putting words in my mouth, but that's exactly what I was looking for. But... Vicky comes out. She's still bitching about AJ. There's more from her later.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. I don't want to hear from that bitch anymore. I just, personally, I don't like Vicky because she just... she rubs people the wrong way, too.
And
I understand...
And that voice.
Yes.
The voice. Yeah.
I understand that... WWE superstars inside the ring act differently
than what they do outside the ring, yeah.
And I respect each and every one of them, but when you come on TV and you act like a...
blatant jerk?
Yes, blatant jerk. Then, yeah, I'm going to form an opinion. That doesn't mean I'm taking anything away. But like I said, Cole confirms that Ziggler is demanding this rematch from last Friday night. Which we told you about. Of course, Orton is dominating into the start of this match, much through it. Ziggler, more sporadic feats of strength in this.
Mm-hmm.
And Orton decides to go to a special place. And I love that special place. I think we all do.
The voices started talking to him, and the Viper was coiled.
Until they go for this roll-up kind of victory where Ziggler grabs Orton's tights and keeps him lifted. And Orton is, of course, pissed off.
And he loses the match.
So, there's probably going to be remnants from this.
Mm-hmm.
Probably this Friday night on SmackDown.
Then, after the match, The Miz comes out and sits at the commentary table.
So far, from what I'm seeing, it will be possibly for the remainder of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So now we move on to section 3B of this. Anger Management, Chapter 2.
This is where we get to see the anger collages. They first start off with Brian showing his, and it's pretty much a paper with a whole bunch of yeses and nos. The doctor asks him to explain, and he goes, I say yes, they say yes. I say no, they still say no. Oh, I say no louder, they scream yes right back. And then he starts going his yes, no stuff. Then they'd asked Kane to show his. Kane shows
a blank piece of paper.
Yes.
And the doctor simply asks him, is this how you feel inside? Kane replies by going, I want to cover this quick. Because this is one of my favorite parts. So I'm not going to take anything. I'll let you do it.
Speak, Tammy.
I'm sorry. But anyway, the psychologist, whatever the hell he was, he goes, is this how you really feel inside? And Kane replies by going, I'll show you how I feel. He crumples up his paper, tosses it in a garbage can, and does his boom, and lights the garbage can on fire. To which extent that each of the participants in this are scared off their asses, and Kane is just freaking laughing, and well, probably inside more than outside at the moment. And Daniel Bryan's is like, whatever, dude. And Brian, go ahead.
Brian calls Kane a teacher's pet, and you can tell that Kane was trying his best not to laugh, but he did. He had a smirk on his face, and he kind of like had like one of those coughs that you usually do when you're trying to hold back a laugh. It's like something like along those lines. So yeah, he was just sitting there. He had a smirk on his face, and it was awesome. So and then it goes to commercial. When we return, we see that Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara are tag teaming once again, and this time their opponents are Tensai and once again Cody.
Tensai, I believe, I'll let you cover the rest of this. Doesn't really belong in this match. Taking nothing away from him, he was an incredible superstar in the WWE. He still does a fairly good amount of.
I feel that Tensai had a bit more reason to be in this match more than like Sandow did in last time, because Tensai did lose to Sin Cara before. And Tensai is definitely one to hold a grudge. Yes.
Speaking of Tensai, well, his character, in a recent interview that I was watching, he's actually a pretty cool dude. So if you ever get a chance to meet him, well, I haven't yet, but talk to him.
Don't be intimidated.
Yes.
Too much, anyway.
All these superstars. I mean, like Del Rio, he's an asshole on TV, and that's just his character. But like, I was watching an interview with him too. He was cool. So.
Anyway, so Cody once again tries to pull his usual pulling off the mask.
Bit's getting old.
And Miz apparently brings up a good point about Cody and the masks.
Saying he pretty much Cody is the future of the WWE, and focusing on tearing people's masks off is not going to get him anywhere. So that's basically the gist of what it was. So
yep.
Then we come back from commercial.
Lawler's confirmed to be out for the entire night, and Miz is on commentary for the rest of the night.
I'm going to have a little more on Miz at the end of the show, but we can move on.
Anyway, so what happens is Rey sets up Tensai for the 619 and hits it properly, and then Sin Cara knocks Tensai out of the ring. And then Cody tries to attack Rey. Rey fights him off, and Sin Cara sets him up for the 619, and then Rey goes for it and hits it as well. And they won the match.
Yes. Well, what had happened previous, because he didn't cover it. It wasn't really an important part. Well, it it wasn't its own right, but the tag that Rey Mysterio made
at the very end, he wasn't inside the ring,
yes.
so they had to just delay Sin Cara's attack for just like a second or so, just so that Rey could get in, tag, and get out again.
Okay, now we move on to Anger Management 2.2. They come back, they're gonna play
Second chapter, part 2.
Yes, I'm gonna refer to, decimal system-ish, but they're having this little group thing called the Circle of Trust. Pretty much, it's the trust fall.
Holding hands in a giant circle. Not
yeah,
fun times.
Yes, and the doctor goes, now Daniel Bryan, you're gonna fall back into Kane's arms and trust that he is gonna catch you. Kane, with the confused look on his face, goes, I will? I had to laugh at that because that was Kane just at his best. I will? Dude, it's like he was so like, oh damn. But anyway,
Daniel kind of panics a little bit, but then he calms down and he goes.
Kane does catch him.
Yeah,
eventually.
And then Kane and Daniel have to catch Harold. They both don't like Harold.
So they don't catch him.
Mm-hmm.
They both look at each other and they go,
no, I understand you.
No, he pretty much goes, Brian goes,
did you know I wasn't going to catch him?
Yeah, did you know I wasn't going to catch him? And Kane goes, did you know I wasn't going to catch him either? Well,
did you know I wasn't going to catch him? I think I understand you.
Brian, with a smile on his face, yes, goes, I think I finally understand you. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. But then next up is the big match that a lot of people wanted to see. Champion versus champion match.
Sheamus versus Punk.
But Punk, apparently, it's because it's Labor Day, is not wrestling. So Punk is...
I'm going to just go into detail on that. Punk was getting into a monologue saying how so many people from his town were taking a day off on Labor Day so that they could watch the wrestling show and all that. And he said, I'm going to be just like them and I'm going to take a day off. And he leaves into the backstage area.
Well, AJ catches him and he goes, and she goes, Punk, you can't leave. And Punk, obviously one of the best lines I've heard throughout the history of Raw. Check my contract, bro. I got personal days.
Mm-hmm.
I could not be more,
yes. And then Matt Striker goes, oh, what are you gonna do now? Oh, and AJ's going,
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? What? It doesn't matter. Tell Sheamus to stay in the ring. I'll find him an opponent.
AJ, of course, does find the opponent, and it is none other than Jack Swagger.
And Del Rio is on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
However, during the match, he doesn't say a thing. He's just more interested in watching the match. Sheamus, of course, is dominating, and then out of nowhere, Sheamus never uses submission moves, yet he pulled off this one submission that looked so... It was so weird. It kind of looks like the sharpshooter,
yes.
but the way he implemented it, it was so much different. So I remember overhearing the Miz saying like a Western something or other. So I'm gonna have to try to go back and see just what exactly it was.
Of course, more on that later, but yeah, you can expect Sheamus to probably use this going towards Night of Champions.
Yeah, a new weapon to use on Del Rio.
Fun.
Yes.
But anyway, Sheamus, Jack Swagger, of course, taps out. Sheamus wins. Well, while Sheamus is celebrating his victory, Alberto Del Rio comes in and attacks. He's kind of beating up Sheamus a little, just punching.
And Sheamus then starts to royally beat up both Del Rio and Ricardo. who jumps in to help out. Of course, trying to get numbers game on him.
But before he gets a little ahead of himself, which I don't know if he's doing right now or not, but what is happening is pretty much Sheamus hits the white noise on Del Rio. He's setting up for the bro kick. He's doing the bro, calling for it. Well, he's going full force on his bro kick.
And
this is where Ricardo jumps in.
Ricardo jumps in, shoves Del Rio out of the way, takes it full force.
He gets his head taken off. Like, you can see his head just go, just done. And he's into commercial break, and after we come back, he's not moving one bit. He's done.
Yeah, he's unconscious, and he's just pretty much laying there, completely almost unresponsive, apparently. Yes. So then he's taken to the backstage area to be taken care of for medical treatment. Next up is the Divas match for the night.
Eve. You knew where I was going with this.
Daggin.
The next match we have is Eve versus Caitlyn with Layla on commentary. Eve, still being supportive, shakes Layla's hand, not Layla. That's not till later. Shakes Caitlyn's hand and also claps for Caitlyn on her way out. So apparently she's being supportive, which begs the question to me and to a lot of people. What is she up to, if she is up to something at all? Because I cannot confirm this. I cannot deny this.
I'm pretty sure some people are kind of thinking in the back of their minds, who the hell is this? This ain't Eve. Who the hell is this?
Yeah, right. Cole is all for it.
Just one minor note, actually. Eve was in that Stars and Stripes show or whatever.
Yeah, and she earned the...
Yeah, she won it. So she won that show. She won the game or whatever it was.
Yeah, I know. I heard about it. But anyway, back to the task at hand here. We have Layla on commentary, as I've said, and this match is going on.
There's a cat fight in the ring, and there's a cat fight in the commentator's table.
The commentator cat fight would be Layla and The Miz. They are arguing with each other.
And The Miz is pulling off a girly accent voice.
Yes.
As
he's pretty much calling Eve the hottest woman there, and calling Layla ugly, which Layla is by no means ugly. She's a beautiful girl.
And he also says that Layla is like every guy's friend, whereas guys would love to date Eve. He's more or less pulling insults like that out.
He's pretty much pulling a Michael Cole.
Only Michael Cole's trying to calm the two down, which is...
And Michael Cole is trying to pull a Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
Notice that whenever, like, I was going to bring up this point later in the show, but notice that whenever Lawler's not there, Cole becomes Lawler, and whoever else is with him becomes Cole. If you get what I'm putting down there.
It's because he misses his buddy.
His best buddy.
In this relation, in our little friendship here, you're definitely Cole.
Fuck you.
You're the one who speaks without thinking.
Shut up. Like you're the freaking voice of the voiceless here?
I'm the one with experience.
That's not what she said.
Keep talking about the match before I snap your neck.
He just says that he won't do it. It's my ear, you ass.
Yes. Yes. Now keep talking about the Divas match.
Can you let go, pussy? Okay, yeah, I agree. I'm speaking without thinking. Okay, moving on. Please disregard that last comment. I really shouldn't use that. That is so disrespectful of me. But pretty much, Layla tells Miz to take a personal day when this cat fight's going on.
And the Miz goes, hey, I don't take personal days. I'm not CM Punk.
He pretty much burned CM Punk at the point.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Moving on.
Eve wins after
They do both put up a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Although I'm pretty sure more people were focused on the commentators table because apparently that was more interesting of the two matches.
Okay, the camera was more focused on the commentators.
Yeah, that was the more interesting of the two matches apparently.
But I guess the whole message of tonight's show is don't take anything away from these superstars because they are very, very talented and they are good at what they do. And if you ever get a chance to meet any of them, they're the coolest people ever. And
anyway, so
I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, match ends. Eve shakes Caitlyn's hand after helping her up, and Caitlyn's giving this confused look of what the hell's going on? What are you doing? Why are you touching me?
And Eve follows it up by going out of the ring, goes over to Layla, and extends her hand.
And the Miz is pretty much badgering Layla to shake Eve's hand, and then all that.
In which Layla goes, "Shut the hell up! You have nothing to do with this. Stay the hell out of it."
Pretty much.
Oh, Layla's fuming at this point.
And she finally, after a little bit, she does shake Eve's hand, but you can definitely feel the tension in the air out of it. So, yeah. Anyway, and then the camera goes backstage, where we see Jack Swagger all dressed up and ready to go, and he's
confronted by AJ again.
And AJ's going, what are you doing? Where are you going? And Swagger goes, I'm better than this. I'm taking an extended break. I'm better than this. I should be better than this. I'm leaving.
AJ's response is, Lesnar walked out on me. Punk walked out on me.
Like Lesnar left, after Jericho left, after Punk just left.
Now you're leaving?
And he's going, I'm better than this. I'm sorry. And he leaves.
So the question that we beg is, what will AJ do now? What is her...
I think the more important question is, what is the WWE planning on doing? Because is this foreshadowing them starting to actually use the rest of their roster and not just sticking with the same guys over and over again? Or are we just going to see a very good setup to a very bad, like a good setup just going to waste here? Anyway.
Next, our official close of anger management. Chapter 2, Section 3. Closing thoughts. Daniel Bryan pretty much goes, Kane, after everything that's happened, you will get a rematch. And Kane responds by going, well, when that day comes, I promise not to eviscerate you. Which pretty much means, eviscerate meaning, I'm not going to destroy you. I promise
I won't I promise I will do my best to not eviscerate you. That's what he said.
Verbatim. I go,
and then...
Gee, that's a great promise from a monster.
Yeah, and then Daniel gets a little bit sensitive about it, and he goes, are you insinuating that you'd even be able to eviscerate me? And then it starts up like a heated conflict between the two. Everybody, then all of a sudden...
the doctor freaking explodes.
No, you're missing a part. What's his face? The one that they just let drop.
Harold.
Yeah, Harold. Harold goes, guys, you should just calm down.
Shut up, Harold!
Harold gets up, leaves, the rest of the other attendees leave, and all that's left is the counselor and Kane and Bryan. Then all of a sudden, as he said, the counselor just explodes and goes, you didn't listen to me whatsoever. And he goes, and he just pretty much leaves the room, still fuming. And then we see that it's now another Raw active, where now the WWE Universe has a choice between either having a singles match between Kane and Bryan, a tag team match with Kane and Bryan together, or have Kane and Bryan hug it out. I was pretty sure about one option, and that was going to happen, and that was probably going to happen. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now, next it goes to commercial. Then, when we return, we see Jinder Mahal in the ring. And of course...
I didn't see the opening parts of this, so I'm going to let you cover this.
And of course, we then hear Ryback's music go off, and he comes in.
Which we still do not know the freaking name
Actually,
of.
I do.
You do now. We do have a consensus on this.
It's called Meat on the Table.
Meat on the Table. Apparently a longer version of Meat.
Meat was just... Apparently, Meat and Meat on the Table was like a two-step project. Meat was just the background music. Meat on the Table is now the background music with the lyrics.
Okay, well, now that we have come to a consensus with that...
It is now officially on iTunes and on YouTube. Just type in Meat on the Table and you'll be able to hear it.
Okay, well, thank you, and you may continue.
Now, of course, it's classic Ryback. Heck, the feed me more. And he gets into the ring, and it starts.
Normally, I'm sorry to bother you. Normally, I would say the feed me more thing is getting tiring, but it's not. The fans are responding to it. I'm responding to it as well because it's excitement. It's what it is. So
that and it's catchy.
It's catchy. So
that and you can see yourself screaming that whenever.
Yes.
At the most random points.
With that being said, I turn this back over to Gary where he will finish his project up.
Yes. Jinder puts up an okay fight. He throws in a few knees to the gut, and it's Ryback. He pretty much overpowers Jinder Mahal. He goes for the clothesline, then he does his finisher that we still don't know, that we still don't have a name on.
Maybe just the finisher. I don't know. Maybe it's just like March of Dimes. I don't know.
No, for some odd reason I want to call it the meat rack. Because you have to admit his theme is kind of like the full feed me more and meat and all that. But the meat rack, it's pretty much like as if he's carrying just a rack of meat on his shoulders now at that point.
Hey, well, it could very well end up being some along the line. So what
so we're gonna have to pay attention to the commentators, see if they actually start and give it a name, because once they do, it'd be interesting to see just how close or how off I was on my guess there.
Anyway, I'm gonna have Gary talk about Ryback for a few more seconds.
Anyway,
I'm gonna do a little research and probably find the name of it.
Anyway, so yeah, Ryback wins the match. He does his finisher, and he pretty much just goes in for the cover, and he wins the match easily enough. And he is still undefeated, which I believe makes it 28 or a 29 win streak. Very impressive. Anyway,
okay, the name of these, there are several. Okay, yes. The actual name of this move is called Shell Shocked. It's pretty much a cradle suplex lifted and transitioned into a running head and leg strap Samoan drop. So, confirmed it is called Shell Shocked.
Oh well. I was very off then. Oh well. Anyway, so moving on.
Now that we have all this confirmed, we will return to regular programming.
Okay. Now, AJ, then we once again see Matt Stryker talking to AJ, going, well, what's going to happen now? What are you going to have done?
She's pretty much going, who are you?
She's getting more and more stressed, and we see her without her suit jacket.
Yeah, I was just going to bring up that point. Thank you for...
And he goes, well, look, here, just tell everyone this. The match between Cena and Del Rio is now a false count anywhere match. And it goes to commercial. When we return from commercial, we see Daniel Bryan and Kane enter the ring.
The Twitter poll. Apparently, according to the Twitter poll,
56. 56% of you said hug it out.
I was gunning for that.
I saw this coming.
Yes, we did.
Also, little fun fact for you. I saw a sign. Maybe.
That is my sign. I saw the one sign. I can't remember what it was, but it made me laugh my ass off.
Yes. Anyway.
Well, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look.
Anyway. One more thing about Ryback. He actually had a t-shirt on this time. Well,
yeah,
not exactly a t-shirt, but like kind of like what HBK does. T-shirt without like the sleeves and the sides.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on.
All right. So then,
apparently they need a referee for this, and the referee is none other than Mike Chioda. He is one of my Mike Chioda is one of my favorite referees in the WWE. I don't know why. It's just one of those things that you just click to, I guess. But he seems to be enjoying this because he's trying not to laugh his ass off. So they're like we said, they're gonna hug it out.
I mean, come on. What other referee in the history of WWE can say that they were the one there to referee a hug it out
match-ish, whatever the hell it was?
A hug it out scenario.
Yes.
No other WWE referee could ever say that, ever. It's hilarious.
And I started like backflashing to myself going, I would be the referee going, I don't get a hug either. I want a hug too. But anyway, Brian pretty much goes up to Kane looking to
give him a hug. Like as if he was, at first it kind of looked like as if he was trying to lock up.
Yes, that is a point that Michael Cole brought up.
Uh-huh.
And he pretty much chest bumps Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Kane returns a favor. And then Brian actually hugs Kane, but the rules of this, if I don't know...
They have to hug each other, apparently. According to Miz, because he apparently knows the rules on this.
Yes. Cole pretty much goes, I'm surprised you actually know the rules about any of this. But anyway, they actually had to embrace each other, is the exact words.
Yeah.
The crowd just starts going wild, going, hug him back! Hug him back!
Finally, Kane does. And it looks like as if he's about to strangle the damn man. Anyway.
Then they finally pretty much embraced each other. They hugged it out. And it was a good hug. They smiled at each other, which is something you never really see from these two.
And then they kind of like slap each other on the
shoulder. They offer a handshake to each other.
Yeah,
and then they slap the shit out of each other.
Well,
it starts with one of these kind of things. And then it escalates and it's boom.
Yeah, Brian bitch slaps Kane again.
Kane, of course, not having this, he's gonna go get physical and he goes ballistic.
Yep.
So, towards the end of this, we see Kane getting a steel chair, putting it on Daniel Bryan's head.
Like around the neck.
He's planning to jump off said turnbuckle onto said chair.
Said turnbuckle was never mentioned.
Shut the hell up. I am trying to make this more entertaining for our viewers, and you are just bashing me.
You set yourself up. You realize this.
Shut the hell up.
Whatever, Ahmed. Anyway. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. Brian hits Kane off the turnbuckle with the steel chair, and it's more or less, that's pretty much how it ends, more or less.
Brian runs off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him a little bitch this time, because he honestly...
He had good reason to run.
Yes! You do not mess with Ballistic Kane. Kane kill you.
Slap him, then hit him with a chair? Yeah, I think that gives you enough reason to run. Anyway.
Kane will find you.
Then we see, backstage, Santino's pacing, more or less, getting ready for his match, which is apparently a rematch for the U.S. title. None
of us knew this was coming.
We all know where this is going, though. It's a rematch. They never end well. Anyway.
Especially when it's just unannounced like that.
So, yeah, what happens is the match starts up and Santino's in there with Cesaro. And Santino tries to go for the Cobra early, but he sees Oksana, puts it away, tries to just go for her regular Cobra without the sock. Has absolutely no power to it. Cesaro starts beating up Santino as Santino's desperately trying to put on the sock to call in the Cobra. And he manages to get the Cobra on part of the way before Cesaro pulls out his finisher and ends the match.
Morella, from my standpoint, is too focused on the Cobra and less on winning. I'm sure he wants to win, but he's more interested in the Cobra than like actually fending off his challenger. Because every time he goes for the Cobra, freaking Cesaro comes and knocks him over. So anyway, we'll move on from here. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired.
It's pretty late. So anyway, Slater versus Zack Ryder. On Twitter, they were going back and forth about how Zack wants to get more airtime on Raw, and how Slater's pretty much trying to trash talk Zack because apparently, according to Slater, Zack's just no good or whatever. So, and he also called his match against Santino a handicap match because he was facing Santino and the Cobra.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's pretty much Ryder's dominant throughout the match. He hits the broski boot. He fails on the first attempt of the Rough Rider, and then hits it on the second time and pretty much wins the match. But he's interrupted immediately afterwards by Vicky, who then
apparently is hosting a sit-in, according to Michael Cole.
Yeah, she's going, I'm not getting out of this ring until AJ comes into this ring because I have demands for her or whatever.
And then Vicky does something that confirms all of my suspicions that she is freaking crazy, as a character, at least. She is talking to the chair.
Yes.
With an invisible person.
With an invisible AJ, yes.
R-Truth can pull this off better than she can.
That's because R-Truth has a little Jimmy.
And little Jimmy is awesome. Thank you very much.
This is just creepy coming out of Vicky. Anyway.
AJ, of course, comes out.
And she is pissed. You can just tell by the way she's walking. She's not skipping. She's just like very quickly walking into the ring. And once again, she doesn't have her suit jacket on. And she's got a mic in her hand. She goes, I just got off the phone with the WWE Board of Directors.
I'm not allowed to.
I am not allowed to touch any superstar or manager or ever again. Yada, yada. She apologized, Vicky demands an apology.
And she obliges. She apologizes, and Vicky apparently...
Not once, but twice.
Vicky apparently says, apologize again, because I want it to actually mean something, which is...
After the second apology, Vicky slaps AJ. And she starts laughing, gets out of the ring, goes back in, slaps her again, laughs some more, and then goes backstage. And when
AJ,
she laughs, she's...
The first time she got slapped, AJ almost lost. She freaking...
Yeah, she... got immediately into Vicky's face, and she, you could just tell she wanted to just deck her.
For lack of a better term.
Yeah. Yeah, Vicky, yeah. What you just pulled was pure definition of a bitch. And AJ is just...
beyond pissed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And pissed AJ? No!
Could lead to some pretty bad choices in matches.
You just don't want to piss off AJ. You piss off AJ, AJ come after you.
Yeah. Anyway, so then comes in the last match of the night. John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio.
Falls Count Anywhere match.
Mm-hmm. And with the way things are, it's more than likely that Punk's probably gonna come back to interfere with the match.
This was just my opinion.
I mean, come on, it's his hometown.
You're not just gonna leave and
up and leave. You have to do something. So yeah. Anyway,
Del Rio in control. Well,
it goes to commercial. Cena is in control. Del Rio's in control when we return from commercial.
Did the match even start when we?
Yes, okay. Yes, it did. And Cena pulls out a dropkick, starts doing his vintage stuff, and he pretty much, more or less, goes in for a 5-knuckle shuffle.
Okay, throughout this match, I'm just gonna sum this up real quick. I'm gonna have you go through the rest too. But Cena gets put into the steel steps. He gets rammed into the steel post. He gets dropped onto the steel ramp. I'm coining this new nickname for John Cena. He is now the Man of Steel.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Because he is continuously being put into the steel shit.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that was just my little bit for the night.
Anyway, so Cena actually rips apart the commentator's table and moves the steel steps next to the commentator's table.
Before we get to this part, when he's ripping apart the commentary table, I think it was like a little black camera, and Cena looks at it and goes, "Eh," and just tosses it off to the side. It's just one of his movies, like, okay.
No, it's just like, what the hell is this? Oh, all right.
Pretty much tosses it off. It's one of the more funny moments, but
yeah. And minor note. Miz, he knows where Cena's going with this. He immediately books from the table. It's like, okay, yep, I'm moving over here.
Cole also follows. So.
Yes. Cena sets up for attitude adjustment, but he's reversed, and he gets put into like a suplex, I think, in through the commentator's table with Del Rio. And Del Rio tries to go for the cover. Does not succeed. Cena gets rammed into the steel post, as he said. Fight is then taken into the universe when Cena throws Del Rio over the barrier. But it's taken out of the universe very quickly as Alberto Del Rio fights him back towards the ramp area. And, of course, he actually fights him back into the ring. Grabs a mic, says that the WWE is beneath him, John Cena's beneath him, and it's just...
Did you cover the part where both of them go through the announce table?
Yes, I did that.
Okay, just making sure.
Anyway.
When Cena did that, I'm going... excuse my language. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so what happens is Alberto Del Rio sets up for the cross arm breaker. Cena, however, rolls at it out and pretty much reverses it into the STF. However, Alberto takes the mic that he was using before, hits Cena in the head, breaks out of it. And then he pretty much throws Cena into the steel ramp. And they're fighting towards the stage area. Cena bashes Alberto's head onto the stage, inch twice. Then he looks to the Ferrari, raises an eyebrow, and then goes for a speaker.
I see Cena pick up the speaker and go, "This cannot turn out well."
Del Rio attacks him before he can attack the car. He drops the speaker, and the fight continues backstage.
But the whole time I'm looking, going, if Cena connects with this, he's screwed.
Anyway, so what happens is they actually go to the same place where Punk had attacked Lawler earlier in the night, and there's actually a small crowd backstage.
There's actually a crowd backstage. They're all looking, going, "Ooh, fight!" Me, I'd be going there going, "Can I go in?"
No, you wouldn't be asking. You'd be just jumping in.
How do you know? Oh, yeah, it's one of those things that I don't think.
Anyway, Cena gets a successful attitude adjustment on top of some plastic...
crates.
Yeah, plastic crates or whatever. And,
of course, to much of my suspicions, Punk returns.
He attacks Cena from behind and more or less gets him down on the ground, and he drags Alberto on top of Cena. Pretty much a repeat of WrestleMania 27, I believe.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, a repeat of WrestleMania 27 from when The Rock attacked Cena and then dragged The Miz onto top of Cena.
Yeah, just about, but anyway.
So Alberto wins. Then Punk takes Cena, and looks like he's prepped for to go to sleep. But he stops in front of a car and just pretty much
drops his car.
Drops Cena onto the car's hood, and Cena is pretty much out cold.
Now, Punk, if you were paying close attention, does not get in the driver's side. He gets in the passenger side. And we see, driving past with the window open, none other than Paul Heyman.
Staring down at Cena. So, what we were saying a few episodes ago about Paul Heyman representing CM Punk is now is a very stronger possibility.
Coming to fruition, apparently.
Yes.
If you want to use term than that.
And then the show ended that way.
Now we move on to our hot topic section. A little update on Lawler. He, like I said, go to the WWE.com or the Facebook page and look up the exclusive interview. There's an exclusive interview I posted on there with Vicky, one with, what's his name, Del Rio, and one with, I don't exactly remember the other one. Oh my god.
It's like, you gotta forgive us for this.
Well, I posted those videos at 6 o'clock this morning, so, and I was overtired anyway, so.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Facebook page, did you update it the other day? Did you go on there and update it the other day?
The only message I put up was Dark Days.
That's what I thought. I'm like, did I put this up here, or did you?
No, that was me.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Next hot topic. The Miz on commentary. How did he do? I answered this question with, I believe he did a very good job.
I actually like him on commentary.
Yes. He brings something new.
He was...
Not bashing Jerry Lawler in any way, because he's a great announcer.
We mentioned an episode or two ago how all the commentators so far, or that we currently have, since Booker T's gone and Lawler's more or less been KO'd for the most part, we only have play-by-play commentators. We don't have anybody who has like any real color to the commentators section. And The Miz adds pretty much, he's like a fucking rainbow for the commentators.
He was mostly unbiased in his...
Yeah, mostly unbiased. He was very entertaining.
To say the least. So,
especially when it was with Layla. Dear God.
Hat off to you. Speaking of hats, I'm not wearing mine today because it is wet from riding home in the rain. So, but anyway, our next question I want to ask is, what's Cena's next move? What's he going to do now that, you know...
It's Cena. He's going to he's pretty much going to be the... bigger man, and he's gonna pretty much take things in stride, I think. He's not gonna try to get revenge on Punk because that's just really not his bit, and he's just gonna say, you're gonna get yours at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So, we covered Paul Heyman. Now I want to do something called the State of Raw address. Basically, what I'm gonna do is run through everything that's happening on Raw. Well, in shortening ways, basically give you what I think, what a lot of people think. With everything that's going on Raw right now, from AJ to CM Punk to Jerry Lawler, all
from
that.
AJ to Ziggler.
Oh God.
Did you see what I did there? Remain to see.
Yes, you ass. Clever.
You're just jealous that you didn't think of it sooner.
Shut up. It's not jealousy. I don't care. I don't even have anything for that. Gary, there were so many short buses out today.
We're dealing with a slightly traumatized Fluffy here. You're gonna have to bear with him. Anyway, so yeah, from AJ to Ziggler.
Yeah. The whole show, it's at this moment, I feel it's crashing. The ratings are still through the roof, but it's not, the storylines are inefficient at the moment.
It's just, as soon as they got to 3 hours, they just really started to, they were more focused on quantity than quality, and they need to pour more quality in storylines and matches into the shows. So, like we've been saying, less of the recaps, more matches with superstars who haven't gotten as much airtime. There doesn't even have to be storyline between them. They could just be random matches.
And they can still both put up a good fight.
Yeah, and like, no more of the one-sided crap. And, like, with Ryback, he's an excellent example. They're just wasting his potential. Oh, give him a damn title shot already.
Nah, I disagree with that. He's got to go through a couple more matches before he gets to
fine, but like, have him face people other than freaking
Jinder Mahal
or
jobbers.
Yeah, that's like exactly that. No more jobbers unless if it's a brand new guy, and only have it for like the first 2 matches. That's it.
Because they're really losing viewers that way.
Yeah,
per se, but the bigger point I'm trying to make here is, if they don't do something very soon, this 3-hour Raw not gonna last. It'll probably only last till January with the way this is going. So
I give it sooner than that.
I look forward to seeing what they have for us next. A couple other things. I do have a few little details that I got left uncovered, and that very well is this: the good, the bad, and the ugly from Raw last night. Monday Night Raw featured a lot of interesting developments, including a twist at the end that will leave fans talking for weeks. Like every Raw, tonight featured a lot of good, a little bad, and a little ugly. And what better way to review all of this good, bad, and ugly than review it right now? The good, the matchup between Dolph Ziggler and Orton. They put on a good show. Ziggler, without question, is going to be a great champion one day. But right now, WWE is doing a spectacular job booking him. But like we said before, there's also consequences that may come with that, because they're just booking the same guys, like Gary pointed out. First, with Jericho and now, this rivalry with Randy Orton is getting Ziggler well over as a heel. But it's getting him over as one of the top athletes in WWE. The Miz on commentary was great. I enjoyed watching him in the ring, especially due to the fact that I watched him work his way up in the company and improve and bring so much. Anytime he has a breakthrough, he should do commentary. I hope in 20 years Raw is commentated by CM Punk and The Miz. How great would that be? Yeah, that's an interesting pairing right there.
Maybe if Punk drops the whole respect bit.
Yes. It would pretty much be Cole and Lawler 2.0.
Yes, but who would be Cole in that relationship?
I don't know. What do you think? I'll post a poll later. Kane and Daniel Bryan's anger management sessions, they're getting over well with the viewers. And they're gold. And tonight was no exception. The only bad part is that it appears that they are now over. It's no secret tag team division is very shallow right now. But Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, they can definitely heat it back up. Hopefully soon, this whole Cody Rhodes versus Mask gimmick ends. Because I'm sick of seeing Cody.
And hopefully we can see Mysterio and Cara get into the tag team titles.
Yes. I've seen a lot of broke kicks from Sheamus, but I don't think I've ever seen one look as good as the Sheamus, as the one he hit on Ricardo Rodriguez. Because, like I said, that took his freaking head off.
Yeah, that was an 18-second bro kick.
Exactly. Now, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed the Zack Ryder-Heath Slater match.
Yeah.
Ryder and Slater, very talented.
Slater's questionable.
Yes, Slater's questionable in this. But like I'm saying, it's nice to see Ryder receiving an actual attention
instead of just him on his YouTube stuff.
The mini push, pretty much, is what it's being called. So hopefully they're going to do something with it and he just doesn't disappear for a few weeks following last night. The Cena Del Rio main event, very, very entertaining, very high energy, and this false count anywhere stipulation made it 10 times better. We saw okay in-ring action, Cena getting put through the announce table, and both men take the action backstage. All in all, it was a fun main event. And every fan in the arena in Chicago and watching at home probably knew Punk was going to play some role in the Cena Del Rio match, but the surprising moment of the night was after Punk laid Cena off. Like we said, oh wow. Like we said, after Punk got back into the car, we see the car pulling up and none other than Sheamus is. Oh my god.
Okay, I think you should stop talking for tonight.
Oh my god, this is getting just... I can't speak.
Anyway.
I've had a long day. It was Paul Heyman in the car. Wow. Okay, but anyway.
Everyone was in shock, but as excited as can be. There's no better possible planning than and he scrolled up before.
Pairing than Punk and Heyman. The bad. The WWE is doing nothing with Cody Rhodes or Tensai. Tensai is really just looking like a project gone wrong each week. And it's probably about time the WWE drops a gimmick and tries something new. What bothers me more is it seems they're just wasting Cody Rhodes' talent. He should be about the same place Ziggler is at right now. I was really looking forward to seeing something new and witnessing Punk against Sheamus. But Punk chose to use one of his personal days, quote unquote, and the match didn't happen. So instead we got to see Sheamus versus Jack Swagger. How many more squash matches do we have to watch with Ryback? I'm losing interest. I was really hoping you'd say something to the Miz ringside or something, but of course, that would make too much sense. Don't get me wrong, Daniel Bryan Kane hugged out Future was great, but it was ruined when they just didn't leave the ring and form a tag team. The rivalry ran its course, and now we want to see a tag team.
That would be an interesting tag team. I wouldn't call it very good, though.
And the ugly.
Yeah.
CM Punk's heel turn hit a wall tonight just due to bad timing with Raw airing live from Chicago, Illinois. I know a lot of heels get cheered while they're in their hometown, but with WWE trying so hard to get Punk over as a heel and coming off his first major heel act attacking Jerry Lawler last week, last night's show being in Chicago didn't help much at all. I don't even understand the Eve angle right now. Is it that she wants to look like she has a face and shake hands, then do heel things? Very confused during the match. I'm very high on Antonio Cesaro, but this feud with Santino is not entertaining me. Seeing that Cody Rhodes isn't doing much right now, that would be a feud that I would love to see. It would also bring more attention to the U.S. Championship.
Or hell, throwing Ryback there. That two big guys going at it like that, that would be interesting. because that way Ryback wouldn't be able to use his finisher all that easily. That was something I want to see. Can Ryback push beyond on his limits and be able to lift a guy like Cesaro for his finisher? Or is he going to have to go about it a different way? Possibly even pull in a submission move that he's been as a hidden ace in the hole. Who knows? That's just something I would love to see.
Oh, and AJ. I'm on the fence when it comes to whether or not I like her as GM, but last night kind of killed it for me. She's not been GM long enough for her to be having nervous breakdowns in the ring. Plus, on top of that, any angle that features more airtime for Vicky Guerrero is no good to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Keep it moving.
That's it for that.
Alright. Well,
next, we bring you to why Triple H's retirement will not last.
He can cover this. I'm going to be disappearing.
Where are you going? Oh, okay. Verbatim, I'm going to read this straight to you. I will try not to get ahead of myself. So, here we go. The WWE is getting a little ridiculous with all this talk about Triple H retiring and its superstars wondering whether or not the game is over. As if Shawn Michaels basically giving a eulogy on the first Raw after SummerSlam wasn't bad enough, the WWE aired about 157 video packages about Triple H's career on last week's Raw. This wouldn't be a problem whatsoever if Triple H's last match really did come at SummerSlam, if like HBK and Ric Flair before him, this was his swan song. But no one above the age of 12 should believe that the game is over. Triple H isn't retiring, not now, not tomorrow, not anytime soon. His supposed retirement on last week's Raw was one big work, which was never meant to actually be the last time that we saw Triple H step foot into a WWE ring. Like with Michaels and Flair, Triple H isn't going to retire out of the blue. He's not going to have one match, come on TV a week later, say he might be done, and then disappear forever. This is Triple H we're talking about here. Like him or not, he is one of the most accomplished superstars in WWE history, not to mention the successor to Vince McMahon and the WWE Empire. When he is set to retire, we will know it well beforehand. After all, we've already gotten a pretty good indication of when Triple H will hang up his boots for good. According to PWInsider.com, Triple H signed a new performance contract with the WWE earlier this year, in what is a sure sign that he's got at least another few years left in the ring. Apparently, Triple H's contract is set to expire way down the road. Just how far down the road are we talking? March 30th, 2016? That means that, in all likelihood, Triple H has roughly another 3.5 years as a WWE performer, or in other words, as an active part-time wrestler. Regardless of how many appearances he's scheduled to have, he's supposedly working 180 days per year. How many storylines he gets involved in, or how many times he wrestles, the game is not over. Not by a long shot. Yes, Triple H's career is winding down, but he's got to focus more on his backstage duties, and he's only going to appear on TV sporadically for the remainder of his career. But there's no chance that we've seen the last of the cerebral assassin. Like with Chris Jericho's termination at the hands of Dolph Ziggler on last week's Raw, the Triple H's retirement is a storyline way to write him off of TV for an extended period of time. I don't see why Triple H couldn't have just stayed off TV and returned down the road. But I guess WWE wanted to run this retirement angle to surprise us whenever he does come back. We won't be surprised, though, because anyone who reads any wrestling news website knows Triple H is rumored to return for a rematch with Lesnar at either Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series, with some reports stating that the match might even take place at WrestleMania 29 next year. Either way, though, the end result is the same. Triple H's retirement proves not to be a retirement after all, and we play the game again. That is all we have for you on that. I have a few little videos for you that I would like you to watch.
might be better to just put them on as links, but whatever.
Basically, well, I'll just read it for you. Kelly is reported back on good terms with WWE, but she has not signed a contract extension. In a recent video interview, she said she is looking forward to coming back and winning the Divas Championship again. I will post that link for you if I get a chance, because I am pretty busy. Wade Barrett is also going to be back within the next few weeks. We have been reporting this for the past few weeks, but the WWE has totally just stopped airing the vignettes for his return. And Wade Barrett was advertised to face Del Rio and Sheamus at last night's SmackDown Live event in Des Moines. But this is from September 2nd. So
the event turned out to be a 2 out of 3 falls match, and between Sheamus and Del Rio, and Barrett was put into a match with Tyson Kidd.
He was pretty much pulled from the main event and put into the match with Tyson Kidd, as he stated, who he defeated. Also, there was a recent video interview with Mark Henry. He also states that he may come back in the near future. He also says that his career is not done. If his leg reaches 100% where he can actually wrestle again, he will happily return to the ring, and he says he'll be better than he was before. So we look forward to all those returns, especially Kelly for me. Yes, I know, but oh well. As always, we do have sporadic updates following our Facebook page. I may link a page to Twitter. I'm not sure yet, but I'm trying not to take on too many tasks at once. We are still working on the opening credits. It is giving me some problems, so I'm going to have to go back and do some digging on it. What do you call it? The logo, our actual logo, that should be our next project coming up after the
opening credits.
Yes. So as soon as we get that done, we will let you know. As always, I would like to thank you, everyone, for watching. And we will see you on Saturday evening-ish. Have a great day.